Greetings, neurotypicals. I'm going to talk to you about sensory issues. I want you to follow me on a thought experiment, alright? We all know what it's like to get an eyelash in your eye, right? I mean, it's happened to pretty much everyone except maybe people who have prosthetic eyes, but just imagine that you've got an eyelash in your eye. Okay, imagine, heaven forbid, it happens when you're driving 80 miles an hour on the freeway. I mean, you're in a 2-ton death machine, and you're going like this. You got one eye on the road, and you're just trying to... But maybe you have to pull over to deal with it. You know, you're walking downstairs, and you get that eyelash, and oh my gosh, you got to deal with it. You're washing your hands are soapy, and your eye just will not open because the eyelash is there. And you have to wash your hands for those full 30 seconds. You are trying to get it done, but you've got tears just pouring down the side of your face from that eyelash in your eye. You know, maybe you're talking to your friends and it's like, oh God, I got an eyelash, hold on. I mean, you can't even participate in the conversation. You can't even process what they're saying. I mean, we've all been there with an eyelash in the eye, right? Well, now imagine you are an autistic person, and now that eyelash is the sound of a fan that's making a squeaky noise. It's kind of intermittent, but it just cuts into your consciousness so hard that you can't focus on anything else. It's being stuck wearing an itchy sweater with seams in all the bad places on your body, and it just feels horrible. You just want to rip it right off, but you didn't put a bra on underneath. So you can't just take it off. You know, there's no undershirt underneath, so you can't just take it off. So you just have to sit there and itch. But, you know, you can't keep up with the lunchtime conversation with your friends. You know, it is the bright neon pink bulletin board in the front of the classroom that you're either stuck staring at it or you're staring down at your book, because if you look at it, it hurts. And you just can't cut it out of your attention. It is trying to listen to the teacher in the front of the room or listen to your boss in the boardroom. And no matter how hard you try, you hear their voice, but the words will not go into your mind because of the constant susurrus of other people swishing their papers and tapping their pencils and creaking their chairs and whispering to each other. So your brain is picking up on all of those little noises, everything except what you want to focus on. You know, imagine there's a blister on your toe and you need a Band-Aid, and all you can think about is getting a Band-Aid. And you can't focus on the meeting, and you can't focus on walking with your work friends off to Starbucks to get a coffee because your foot hurts. That's all you care about, is relieving the pain in your foot. You know, it could be somebody is wearing overbearing perfume and you just cannot do that math test that is so important because that smell has just overridden your brain. You know, maybe you took medicine that leaves a really nasty taste in your mouth, and it just, you know, maybe you took a zinc lozenge for a cold and that's all you can taste, and your brain is just short-circuiting on that taste. That is what sensory issues are like. It's not just oh, I'm just mildly uncomfortable here. It is the kind of thing that steals your attention to the point that you can't focus on what you need to do. You know, and then now imagine you're back in your car with the eyelash and you've pulled over and you're trying to deal with it, and your passenger is like, oh, come on, it can't be that bad. Just drive the car. I mean, come on, just rub your eye a little bit and drive the car. Okay, you're in agony. You can't drive. You can't even see because both your eyes want to screw shut, even though it's only one eye that's a problem. You know, maybe that's just me, but, you know, usually when I have an eyelash, it's both my eyes do this. They squeeze shut on themselves, you know, until you can get the eyelash out. And sometimes it just takes one little swipe of your finger and you're fine. And sometimes you have to pull your eyelid down and dab it. And well, if your hands are contaminated because you just touched an unknown surface, well, in this age of COVID being everywhere, and you never know if any surface can give you a cold, you want to wash your hands or use hand sanitizer. But if you use hand sanitizer, that might burn. So can you imagine the conundrum? That is what sensory issues are like when you're autistic. So, exercise over. Think about it, neurotypicals.